This video will show you 3 ways of using outer intention to transform your life using reality transurfing. I'm going to share with you exactly how to use it so that you really start getting results in a completely new way. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you those 3 things in correlation with outer intention using reality transurfing. Now, just to give this video context, if you don't know much about reality transurfing, I have other videos on it, but just to give it kind of like an overall summary, reality transurfing is more of a philosophy than it is just a manifestation process. But it comes with understanding that if we simply set more intentions in our life, that we begin to shift ourselves to having new kind of experiences, and that most people just simply don't have intentions. It's kind of like, think of it like you're on a boat without a sail. The sail would be representative of the intention. Now, the idea behind this is understanding that there is in quantum physics, because the book is written by a quantum physicist named Vadim Zealand, the idea is that in what is called the alternative space is an infinite number of parallel realities. Now, which one we experience will depend on the choices we make in the present moment and the intentions that we have behind that. Now, there's other parts of the process that have to do with understanding, creating from our heart, how powerful that is, how when we do that, it changes everything because then we start to actually feel into it. It has to do with understanding the different aspects of importance and how when we decrease the level of importance of something, we actually increase the probability of us experiencing it. Because anytime we make something more important than it has to be, we put it on a pedestal. And the moment we put it on a pedestal is the moment balancing forces, metaphorically speaking, come into play to balance that out. Now, beyond that, one other thing I'll mention is that with reality transurfing, there's this awareness that your thoughts have an electromagnetic type energy. They have a reality of themselves, and when multiple people are thinking the same thoughts or have the same beliefs, that creates what are called thought structures. Those thought structures will then run themselves out. So many times we think that we're thinking our own thoughts, when in reality, we're thinking thoughts of the pendulum. A pendulum is always trying to get energy from us. So we must be aware of these, and the moment we become aware of them is the moment we take them back. There's pendulums around being a certain affiliation with some political party. There's pendulums when it comes to being for and against certain football teams, basketball teams, any type of, there's pendulums around certain people. And many times that energy will kind of suck it out of us. So we have to be aware of that. That's why it's good not to watch the media necessarily. And the idea behind reality transurfing is mainly understanding the power of our thoughts, the choices we make with the intentions. Now, this is going to involve those 3 things that we must do to use outer intention. Now, there's 2 parts of intention. There's inner intention and outer intention. Inner intention is the will we have towards attaining something. So it's the action we take. This is kind of like the Gary Vaynerchuk type. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do it. I'm going to control my actions by focusing my thoughts. That's kind of like the whole general basis of inner intention. Now, outer intention is when we connect to our heart, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Outer intention is not so much us trying to it's understanding that there's also like a universal collective consciousness that the universe wants things to happen. So instead of us assuming, for example, this is the easiest analogy, you want to attract someone into your life, you can realize also that there's somebody that wants to attract you into their life. So that kind of starts to get into outer intention. It's when you start to realize that you can add value to other people because that's the way the energy wants to move. For me, for example, almost everything I do is around how can I add value to other people. And I believe that one reason why things have grown so quickly for me is because that aligns with the outer intention of the collective, of helping people and helping this like collective consciousness get to a certain point. So it's almost like even though it's just a little fraction that I can add, it's nonetheless helping. And because of that, the outer intention is aligned with it. Plus, it's connected to my heart. So this is a powerful understanding. It's more so the idea of inner intention is the will to have, whereas outer intention is more of the outcome itself. So it's I already have. So it's kind of like, think of it like there's an infinite number of parallel realities that exist. And it's not so much that you're going to imagine you taking action to get there. It's more so imagining that you are already there. That's the outer intention and how you create from that space. Now, the first thing that you must do in order to make outer intention work is you must connect to your heart. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to talk a little bit about goal setting, and you must have the right goals to have the intention work for you. Most people, when they set goals, the goals are what? The goals are, I want to make more money. I want to live in this kind of place. And understanding that money is a side effect of us doing our passion, and it's a side effect of us adding value to other people. So when we become aware of that, it kind of switches the script a little bit, because then the focus comes, what can I be passionate about? What can I add value to other people with? What makes me an example to other people that other people can enjoy? So it's a different kind of perspective, but it is so powerful, because when you do that, you start to connect to your heart. And this is the thing, the language that the heart speaks in is not in the language of the logic. And you see, the brain understands the money, right? Because the brain looks at the money and says, oh, the money equals the freedom, because then I can go buy what I want. That's what that is. Whereas the heart looks at it and it doesn't really feel it, because even though our mind understands this equals this equals this, money equals freedom equals the ability to do what I want, the heart more so connects to the passion, the energetic flow. So what you want to do is you want to find out what you're passionate about. Start intending that you find out what you're passionate about. And if you already know, then that's great. Start to act on it more often. It could be you love to paint, so you're going to start painting every single day. You're going to start doing that because it puts you into a flow state. And as you start to do that, you'll find that things happen in a much easier way. And that's the first step that you must do in order to connect to outer intention, because that connects to the outer whole. That connects to everybody else. And whether you realize it or not, when you do that, your energy is rippling out and it's contagious to other people, whether they know it or not. That's why sometimes the best thing you can do is just to do you. Do what you want to do. At the same time, do it from a point of passion, because as you do that, everything begins to change. The second thing that you must do in order to have outer intention and to have it effective is to let go of importance, to decrease the level of importance. Now, this is perhaps one of the most powerful reality transurfing concepts. And it's just simply because I applied it and immediately started getting great results. It's the one that I recommended to the most amount of people, that people have reached back to me and said, hey, this really works. Thank you so much for this. Because this is the missing key. Most people go about it the old school LOA type way, law of attraction way, and it's like, I'm going to desire it. I'm going to really want it. And as I do that, I'm going to focus my thoughts on it. And they get scattered results. It's not like it doesn't happen as they would like it to. The key to this is understanding that the moment we desire something, we say, I really, really want that. We're energetically saying, I really, really don't have it. Because you cannot want something and have it at the same time, because if you had it, you would just already feel that satisfaction. You'd already feel good. So instead, what we can do is start making it more about the feeling, because the feeling is why you want that thing anyways. If you desire to have more money, it's because you believe you'll feel better in the having of it. So instead, why not go straight to the emotion? Instead of going, oh, I can get the money equals the freedom, go straight to the freedom. How could you feel freedom right now? You could probably look around and feel gratitude for what you already have. You could feel gratitude for the, kind of exercise your freedom and what you can do. You're like, hey, I could drive over here right now. Nobody can tell me I can't. I can go do it. I can go do this. Whatever it is, you could start to view aspects of your current life and how you can take action from that point of freedom. And that will re-emphasize that emotion for you and increase the probabilities of you experiencing it, but you're not desiring it like, I need that. So the idea behind this as well is understanding that there is no power in just simply desire. Desire must be translated to either intention or action. And the difference between us having desire and intention is, if I have a desire to put my hand right now, then it does nothing. But if I have a desire to put up my hand and I translate it to intention or action, guess what? Then that's when it works. So we need to become aware of that. So instead of just setting the desire to have it, set the intention. Kind of, it's almost like making a plan for it and then following up with it with the action. That's something that you can do, and when you do this, it really works in a powerful way, because then you're using the energy you're using the energy in a powerful way. And that's when you can start to use outer intention, because the outer intention is realizing that as you connect your heart to it and you take action from that place, that's when outer intention can begin to fall into your life experience, and it comes from the decreasing the level of importance, which will increase your probability of experiencing it. It more of resonates with you. You know, the analogy that I use for this is that when I had my YouTube channel, and I remember I was making it very important when I was at 70 or 80,000 subscribers to get to 100,000. And the more important I made it, the more resistance I felt, and the more there's like these little blocks would come into play. But the moment I just kind of let go, it was like, you know what, day to day out, what's like, you know, once I got to 98,000 subs, I remember I went to bed and I woke up the next day and it was at 101. And I remember it was cool. I was like, oh, 100,000, that was like one of the original goals. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. But the thing is it was just natural. It's like, well, I made videos yesterday. I'm making videos today. It's who I naturally am. I'm somebody that makes daily videos. And it was just a part of my self-image. So it wasn't anything crazy. But the moment I let go of that importance, it's the moment it started to really grow. That was when I was at 98,000, and then the next day I woke up and we were at 101. That's because a video went viral in Sedona, the vibration video that I did on raising vibration. And it was like, it's like I let go of everything, and then all of a sudden something like that popped and things were growing exponentially quick. So become aware of that and know that when you become aware of that energy state and how you can kind of make it natural for you to accomplish what you want because you decrease the level of importance, you start to resonate more with that, and things happen in a very powerful way. Now, if you want a meditation that will help you to decrease the level of importance, I've created a free meditation. It's an MP3 you can download in the description box below. It will also wire in some of the ideas of reality transurfing to make it so much easier for you to create from that place. So I recommend you listen to this meditation for at least 21 days. I think you'll get amazing results from it. And like I said, it's in the top of the description box if that's something you want to check out. So the third part of this with outer intention is realizing we don't really change anything. It's more so that we choose something else. Now, this comes from the awareness of alternative space. There are an infinite number of parallel realities that exist. So we think that we have to create our own reality. I have to create it, and not so much stress with that. We have to do so much when it's just the natural byproduct of existence. Like, think about it. Do you have to try to grow a tree? No, you plant the seeds, you trust the process, you water it, and it grows itself. That's part of the creation process. It happens very naturally. That's the kind of mentality we can have with outer intention, is realizing it's not so much that we're creating in every moment, like we have to try so hard. It's a natural byproduct of us shifting through different parallel realities. So it's not so much we're creating it as we are choosing a different alternative that already exists right now. And when we become aware of this, we can then more so focus on the outcome. So we remember that the inner intention is the will to have, or it's the will to get. It's the will to take action and do what we can. And then the outer intention is more of the will to have, to already see yourself there. And that's the kind of energy that you can come from, is already having that outcome in mind, but at the same time not thinking about it, making it important that you think about it, and assuming that it has to happen exactly the way that you view it. Have a general, this is when you can kind of, this is like an Abraham Hicks type thing, you can be aware of how general do I want to be versus how detailed can I be? Well, it depends on your vibrational state of being and how much resistance you feel. If you want, you can, if it feels good for you to imagine the details of having it, the outcome, then do that. But don't make it very, very important, because the moment you do that, the moment you create those balancing forces to come into play. So instead, what you can do is you could be aware of your energy state and realize that what you want to exist exists right now. What you want to create or experience or choose exists right now in the moment. It's simply vibrating at a different frequency that we don't perceive of because of our current energy state, our current beliefs. So what we can begin to do is align with that. So instead of having more of the will to get, have the will to have. Start to see the outcome and know that you don't have to do everything. It's more so about allowing things to happen. That's the definition, kind of the meaning of reality transurfing. It's more so surfing through the alternative space, choosing from a point of awareness, choosing and intending for you to create what you want through that shifting. So it's more about flowing. You know, my energy has definitely changed a lot over the last probably 4 or 5 months for sure. And that's because I've been studying reality transurfing and really realizing that more so than just the take action, take action, take action, it's more so about taking that aligned action, taking that action from a point of awareness of letting go. And that's what I think reality transurfing does, is it allows us to let go of all of the control, and we can surrender to this greater aspect of understanding that we choose from the alternative space. Everything we can imagine can exist right now, and we can connect to it by matching the vibrational frequency of it with our thoughts, our actions, and our feelings, but doing it from a point of balanced energy, not giving it excess meaning, more so resonating with it rather than putting it on a pedestal. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you guys liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification here so that you guys can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.